So the next topic is superposition theorem, very important theorem in this circuit theory. So here it states that in any linear bilateral network containing more than one source, we have more number of sources. Then what we can we can find the response in any branch by keeping only one source at a time. We can find the response and we can add those total response. We can find the response in that particular branch by just adding all the currents or response considering one source. So the statement is like this: in any linear bilateral network containing more than one source, the response in any branch considering all source, taking all source into consideration, what current if it goes to that, that will be equal to the algebraic sum of response considering one source at a time. So now what we can do? Either you can have you can keep the circuit as it is, and you can find the net value of current in any branch by keeping all sources in active, or it also equal to the algebraic sum of response, that is keeping one source at a time and keeping all other sources. For example, if you have two voltage sources, and now we can do what we can do. We can make V1 active and V2 inoperative, and we can find the current flowing through that particular branch using any methods like mesh loop method or nodal method, or any method. Using any method, we can find the current flowing through the particular branch. Similarly, we can find current flowing through the same branch by making V2 operative and V1 inoperative. Now we have to find the direction of the current, whether it's going in same direction or opposite direction. So that algebraic sum gives the response. That response will be equal to the response when we are considering all the source in active. So the thing is, we can simplify. Or we can find the currents very easily without having any difficulties. So superposition theorem is very important theorem. Let me show you how we can find or prove. Normally this the problem will be like this. They will be asking you to find current in a particular branch using superposition theorem, or they may be asking you to prove the theorem. So that what you have to do, you have to keep all the source in that circuit, and you have to find the current in particular branch using any method, and you have to keep the answer, and you have to prove that by considering individual source at a time, and again adding all put together, you have to show that these two currents are equal. That way you have to prove it. So I will show you. Let us take one circuit, and so now I have shown you a simple circuit. Now we are going to solve this circuit using superposition theorem. So we have to prove. The question is to prove the superposition theorem, and they have shown through which branch current we have to consider. So you can see here I have to find current flowing through IL, and I have to prove the theorem, superposition theorem. So the statement is very clear that considering two sources, I have to find the current, and considering one source at a time, and I have to find the current, and I have to add. If those two are equal, then theorem is proved. Correct? So the first thing is I am going to consider both the source, and I am going to find the current flowing through these 1 ohms. So using mesh loop analysis, you can take any method. Either you can use Kirchhoff's voltage law, or you can use mesh loop analysis, or you can have Thevenin's theorem. Any method you can use, but your aim is to find the current flowing through this 1 ohms, this load. You can consider as load resistance. Okay. So from the diagram itself, it is very clear. It is a current. Both the currents entering to the resistance, both are in the same direction. So I1 plus I2 is the net current flowing through this 1 ohms. So considering both the resistance, both the voltage source, I am putting mesh loop analysis. After going for mesh loop analysis, I could derive this matrix format. So in this loop, 2 plus 1, 3. The common common distance between this and this is 1, and I have put plus because both currents entering in the same direction, so I put plus. So again the same distance will be common to both 1, and the distance in this loop is 2 plus 1, 3. And voltage current coming out of this voltage source 5 volts, so 5 is positive, and current is coming out of this one in the second loop 2, so it is positive. So this is the matrix for considering both the voltage sources. So after this, I have to find using Cramer's rule. I can solve this to find I1, I2. So del is simply 9. 3 into 3 9 minus 1 is 8. And to find I1, I2, I have to substitute this voltage column elements into the first column and find the determinant, I will get del I1. So it is simply, once I substitute 5 2 here, and if I get, it is 15 minus 2, it is 13. And similarly, now I can find I1. So I1 is equal to del I1 divided by del is 8, and its 13.8 is 1.625. Now again I2, if I want I2, I have to replace this element with this voltage elements, column elements. So 5 2 I substitute here, again it comes 6 minus 5. So 6 minus 5, determinant value 6 minus 5 is 1, and del I2 will be del I2 by del, that is del I2 is 1 and del is 8 RD form. So 1 by 8 it is 0.125. So our net current flowing through this resistance, keeping both the source inactive, is 1.75 ampere. Okay. So the next step is, now we are going to consider only 5 volts only now, and keeping other source inoperative. That means if you have voltage source, you have to short circuit. If you have current source, you have to open circuit. Now we got here voltage source only 2 volts. I have short circuited it, and I am going to find current flowing through 1 ohms because of only this 5 volts. Okay. So again I am going to mesh loop analysis to find the current flowing through 1 ohms considering 5 volts. And you can see here I have marked I1 dash and I2 dash. Okay. So now the current flowing through 1 is I1 dash minus I2 dash. So for this, if you go for matrix, directly you can write the matrix. In this particular loop, I got 2 plus 1, 3, and the common branch 1 for 1 and 2 loops. The common branch is having 1 ohms. So 1 current direction is opposite to each other, so I put minus. So 3 minus 1, and if you consider second loop, in the second loop alone you got 3. I put 3, and for second loop, but first loop you got common switch is 1 ohms. So I put 1. Current direction is opposite, so I put minus 1. So resistance matrix, current matrix, and voltage source, we got only for this particular one. First loop only we got 5 volts. In second loop we don't have any voltage source. So 5 0. So now I can use Cramer's rule to find the currents. So del is 8. Determinant of this one is 8. To find del I1 dash, I have to make this element. We have to replace this element with this 5 and 0. So del I1 dash is 15. So I1 dash is 1.875 ampere. Similarly, I can find del I2 dash. Just to have only one chain, I have to replace this minus 1 3, and I have to replace 5 and 0. I put here, and I will get 5. So del I2 dash is 5. So I2 dash equal to 5 by 8. It is 0.625 ampere. So the net current flowing through these 1 ohms, because of only one source, 5 volt voltage source in consideration, is I1 dash minus I2 dash. So it is 1.875 minus 0.625. It is 1.25 ampere. So now let us consider 2 volts alone. So I can replace I can redraw the circuit like this. I am going to make 5 volts inoperative. So I have short circuited it, and now I have marked I1 double dash and I2 double dash. Okay, so here this I2 double dash. Now the net current flowing through, while I am considering 2 volts, the net current flowing through 1 ohms will be I1 double dash minus I2 double dash. So again, if I form a matrix using mesh loop analysis, I can see here 3 minus 1. And in this case, for second loop, 2 plus 1, 3, and common branch 1 is minus 1. So del is, again it is 8. Del I1 double dash, del I1 I have to replace the first column with the voltage column elements. So 2 0 I have substituted, and I find del I1 double dash as 6. So I1 double dash will be 0.75 ampere. Similarly, for del I2 double dash, I have to replace the second column of the resistance matrix with the voltage source element. So 2 0. So again I got del I2 double dash is equal to 2, and from that I can find I2 double dash is equal to 2 by 8. It is 0.25 ampere. So the current through, the net current through 1 ohms, because of this 2 volts, will be I1 double dash minus I2 double dash. So it is simply 0.25 ampere. Now if you subtract those two, you will get 0.5 ampere. So the total response through 1 ohms, by considering 5 volts and 2 volts individually, because of 5 volts it is I1 dash minus I2 dash, it is 1.25, and considering 2 volts alone, it is I1 double dash minus I2 double dash, it is 0.5. So adding those two put together, you get 1.75 ampere. So this is hence the theorem is proved. That's the previous session we have. Previously we have solved for both the source operative, and we found it is 1.75. Now we have considered one source at a time, and again we got the same response as 1.75. Hence the theorem is proved.